The third element of RUAH is affection. And where do we find that affection? In the home. And for Ste, that's what he found growing up. An acceptance, a care, a love, a discipline that helped him through his early life, through his teenage years, and continues right through to today. For Don Bosco, the notion of home was essential. In fact, when he first began his residential experience for some of the most deprived and difficult young people of Turin, he asked his mother, Margaret, to join him so that there would be a family atmosphere. And so, from this home, Father Ste was able and will be able to step forward to be a Salesian who genuinely cares for young people and wants the very best for them.
Family is very important for me. I grew up in a very loving family. My mum and my dad, who will be on this video today. My sister, Michelle, or we call her Shelley. My brother, Andrew. We grew up in a very small but very close-knit family. And then within that family, my niece and nephew came along. So my sister's children, Alicia and Craig. And it was kind of through them, if you like, that I started to really enjoy working with younger people, because I was 11 or 12 when my niece was born. So being at that age, I would help look after my niece. I would pick them up from school, her and her brother, when he got into school, and just take them to the park or make them some dinner or something like that. So it was really good to be with them. And I think I got that experience from my own upbringing when my grandparents would pick me up from school, or I would go round to my grandparents' house at the end of the school day. My mum's parents, Barbara and Robert, or Bob, as most people would call him. On a Friday after school, I would go with my dad and my brother to my dad's mum's house. Her name was Winifred, or Winnie. Sadly, I didn't get to know my dad's dad because he died when I was younger, when I was a baby, so I didn't really get to know him. But these family connections, being around the family, was really important for me. They were the people that showed me love, showed me affection, and also helped me be the person I am today. So all of my family are really important to me. So we're here at Bootle in Merseyside in Liverpool, and this is my family home from the age of 11 to when I left home at the age of 18, and we're going to meet my parents today, which is exciting.
For us as Salesians, the home is so important. So Margie and Gary, thank you so much for inviting us to your home.
You're welcome.
And Margie and Gary are the parents of Ste Lloyd. So I suppose the question I'm going to ask you first of all is, coming from Bootle, coming from St James's, Savio Salesian College as it was in those days, how do you think, or where do you think Ste got his vocation to become a Salesian and to become then a Salesian priest?
Well, it all started when he made his first Holy Communion at St James's Church, and he just wanted to carry on going to church. We're not churchgoers, but he became churchgoer. Then
he just enjoyed it so much,
he
didn't he? Getting involved with...
We supported him everything he wanted to do. You know, if he wanted to go to church, we took him, picked him up.
We'd drop him off of a Sunday morning.
Great.
If I was off work, sometimes after work on Sunday, but we'd drop him off there, and there'd be a phone call, can you come and collect me?
Yeah.
Or one of the parishioners would drop him off, or even yourself. I think
you've dropped him off before.
So he just enjoyed going down to the church every week, and he was there through the week as well.
That's right.
If there was events going on, he liked to organise things, I think.
Yes.
I think that's his biggest thing. He likes to be organised.
He became an altar server, as you all know. Yeah, he followed in his brother's footsteps, because Andrew was an altar server. He dropped out, but Stephen carried on. He just wanted to carry on. He enjoyed it so much.
And do you think that, obviously you talked about the fact, okay, you weren't regular churchgoers yourself, but were there any other sort of influences in your kind of wider family, do you think, that he might have looked to for support and help in that area?
Your dad?
My dad, yeah. He was proud that Stephen carried on going to church, because my dad made us all go to church when we were children. Always, especially Sunday Mass, we never missed. I think we got kicked out a couple of times for talking too loud. But yeah, if my dad was here now, we'd be so proud.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's wonderful. And the beauty is, because of our faith, we believe that genuinely Steve's granddad will be there on that fantastic day to support you and to help you. You talked about him sort of going down to church and you having to pick him up and everything like that, and you talked about him being a good organiser, and the fact is, you know, I can talk from experience, Steve was an excellent organiser and he got those kids sorted out. And one of the things we talked about yesterday was that Steve didn't just deal with the so-called good kids. He had a special affinity and a special care of some of those kids who, shall we say, were difficult, were problematic, were cheeky, and yet he was able to kind of somehow bond with them and support them and be a good influence.
I think that's partly because he was a little bit like that himself when he was younger. He slightly disruptive in some of his lessons, which we've seen some of the reports from his teachers and so on. Not too bad. He
mainly in senior school, not in like nursery, infants.
But I think because of his involvement in the church, speaking to yourself a lot when he was with you and with Father Michael, the influence came through there, and then he could understand what kids are going through now. And he's done it himself. He's turned himself around because he has done it himself. That's the thing about it.
So the kids relate to him, you know, and how young he is as well.
Exactly. But the fact that he's had such fantastic and strong support from both of you is so important. You know, you've been with him literally all the way. Now, you're a real family, okay? Sometimes people think that as Salesians, as priests, you know, we come out of a priest box and, there's a shortage somewhere, so we'll go to that box and bring out a Salesian. No. Of course, you know that's not how it works. We grow up in real families with real situations, with real difficulties, with great joy as well. So, you know, as a family, you know, what sort of things do you think you did that really kind of encouraged him and sparked him and gave him that energy to go forward?
We were just there for him, you know, wherever he wanted to go, we would take him, you know, we would just give him that support. You know, especially when he became the volunteer and working with Vidas. The Brunswick Club, we were always taking him there, picking him up. We
encouraged them as in the fact that if he wanted to do it, we'd never say, "Oh no, we haven't got time to take you there. We haven't got time to." No, yet we can't take you. It's some bus fare or whatever he needed to go, because he had the confidence. He had a bit of confidence then to go down and do what he wanted to do.
But there's times when you can't say no to Stephen because he will just do it anyway. He will just go.
Obviously, as a family, there must have been sort of special holidays, special Christmases. Do you think, you know, you would like to share with us anything that you really enjoyed as a family, because he's still going to be part of your family. Even after ordination, he's still. What sort of things do you think you've got good memories of, or he may have good memories of?
Christmas time's a big deal for us, for all our family. They all meet up here. Obviously, Stephen was always here at Christmas dinners. I'd cook dinner for many people.
Up to 50.
When my mum and dad were here as well, they loved getting together with the whole family.
Excellent. So you bring out the emergency chairs.
Yes, garden chairs, everything. A lot of it was when we were living in Percy Street as well, because that's where Stephen was born. You know, he didn't come here till he was about 13 when we moved here. He was only 13, so it's closer for the school for both of them.
And as you've kind of walked with Ste on this journey, one of the nice things I remember, you know, is that you have always been, you know, in our homes, whether it's been here in Liverpool, Bootle, whether it's in London,
I don't know if you got
Yeah.
the chance to go to America,
We
did
did.
you?
We
You
did.
Excellent,
We did.
you see,
Yeah,
That was
we
for his
did.
21st.
That was his
Oh,
21st.
all right. So
Yeah.
maybe talk about that then. So when he was 21, he was a novice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was only 20 when he was travelling to
Right.
California,
Yeah.
and we said, "Oh, it's your birthday, 21st next May. We've got to be there. We've got to
Excellent.
book." So we told them we were coming. So
We
you know,
booked a 10-day break, I think it was. We booked over
yeah,
there.
and
So we
10-day
flew
break.
over, and
Yeah.
as usual, whenever we arrive anywhere, the Salesians are there. For
Very
us straight
welcome.
away.
Made us feel
Brilliant.
welcome.
Yeah, always
Yeah.
there. Offered you
Fantastic.
anything you want, it's there for you.
Good.
Yeah.
It is, as you keep saying, it's a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wherever you go in this country and even around the world now, as I say, we've been to America, it's just welcoming all the time.
Brilliant.
We just couldn't let his 21st go without
No,
us being with
no.
him.
Because for us as Salesians, we love to see our families. We love to see our friends coming because, you know, we don't live in a sort of a monastic existence sort of miles from anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, because that's our tradition. Don Bosco had his mum actually living with him right from the start, you know,
Yeah.
so...
Well, we brought Alicia, and separate times. Alicia went to Battersea
That's
as well.
right, yes, I
She
remember, yeah.
enjoyed London, loved
Yeah,
London.
yeah.
And Craig,
Craig came
Yeah,
down as well.
That's great.
he said
then-
he'd move there if he could. You know, he enjoyed it so
I
much.
think it was the house.
Yeah.
He enjoyed the house.
You
The
love the
house
house.
is beautiful, yeah,
Yeah,
it is
the
a
house
beautiful
is-
house. You have to see
He was
that.
made up at his
Absolutely,
room,
yeah, that's so
his
true.
bedroom and everything, wasn't he?
So part of being a normal family is that you do normal things like having to go to the shop, having to clean your rooms. But one of the nice things about being a family is that you get to go on holiday together. Is there any sort of special holiday that you can remember?
Yeah.
There was one. Stephen was about 5.
Yeah.
About 5. So there was ourselves and Andrew, Shelley, his sister, and
Danielle,
Margie's
his,
niece.
yeah.
And we
his
all
cousin.
we jumped into the car, went to a caravan park in Wales, mid Wales I think it was, wasn't it? And as we arrived, unpacking everything, putting stuff into the
Started
caravan.
raining.
Started raining. It's quite a heavy storm.
Very,
And
yeah.
Andrew said,
Where's Stephen? And we're like,
So we went, oh.
huh? Where's
So we
Stephen?
all start panicking then, looking out, running around outside, running around in between all the caravans, and he just trotted up
He
back
just
around the
trotted up.
corner.
Where have you
Where have you
been?
been? Screaming,
He's
shouting
come round
around
with the
course.
biggest smile on his face, and he's going, I've been looking round. And he just wanted to explore.
Just went for a wander.
He just went for a wonder, but how he found his way back, we were like, oh my God. Yeah.
I think the
just
way he
went-
found it back, I think he spotted the car.
Yeah.
He knew the car had come back that way. And then he wanted to go back out again.
Yeah, so
And
his
Shelley had
sister
to
was
get out
trying
and
to.
look at
There's
the door,
actually
bring him back in.
pictures. There's pictures
We've got a
of him
photograph of him as he came
standing
back.
there, soaking wet, the biggest smile on his face.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to go back out again in the rain, and his sister's like this, trying to keep him in.
Right.
Did his
right.
pictures, so you'd have to have a look at them.
I remember we used to go down to, because there weren't many round here, sort of great leisure pools, you know, there
No.
were swimming pools,
Yeah.
but not leisure pools where you could do kind of crazy things like wave machines and slides that came down. So I remember taking Ste down to the water park in Stoke-on-Trent.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still there, but he just
I
absolutely had a
love
field day.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, as did they all, you know.
Yeah.
And the bigger the slide,
Oh, yeah.
the more he was on
Yeah.
it.
Oh, there'll be pictures
loved
with
the
him coming
water.
down slides
There was
as
this
well.
day
Yeah.
again when he must have been about 7 or 8, no, younger, when we were in Corfu.
Yeah.
We went to Corfu. Andrew and Stephen both in the pool, in a small pool. Margie standing on the edge. And the next thing, you were speaking to Andrew, I think, and Stephen just popped his head under the water.
like,
One leg in the water,
back up.
straight out of the water.
No, we just love the
Didn't
water.
bother him in the
Yeah.
slightest. He
That's
Always
my
playing.
memory of
back
him.
into it.
Yeah.
You know, as a say top junior, first couple of years at Savio,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
always in the water.
Always. Even the sea. He'd swim in the sea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wasn't afraid. Him and his brother would just go swimming in the sea. And just really enjoyed
And
it.
always being available to help. That was my other memory. In
Yeah.
the parish, in the
Yeah,
school.
oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just whatever job you needed doing,
Yeah,
he'd do it.
he enjoyed
You know,
that.
there was that maturity, even
what he
as
used
a
to tell us
13,
he
14,
enjoyed.
15-year-old. You know, you could trust him to actually get
Yeah.
it done.
Yeah,
In fact, I used to say I trusted him more than I trusted myself. Because I'd forget,
yeah.
but he would get it done. You know,
I think that's where all his confidence has come from. All that volunteer work, if he
Yeah.
was helping at the school, helping at the church.
Yeah.
That built his confidence. That's where he is today.
Yeah, exactly. Margie and Gary, you really support Ste
Oh,
in his
Yeah.
journey, and that's something that we have to thank you for.
It's not just us, the whole family
Yeah.
are supporting them.
Now, you know, when you talk about the whole family, you know, sadly, grandparents have passed.
Yeah.
I realise that, but you know, they're still very much part of the story and they're part of his journey. But he's got uncles, he's got cousins, and that notion of family for Ste is very, very important, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big family.
Yeah, he was delighted when we said how many people were able to come down to Battersea to become a deacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually had a mini
His
coach,
uncles,
didn't we?
yeah.
I drove down.
3 of his uncles came down
Very
with him.
good.
So,
And his
yeah.
brother and his brother's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And there was 9 of us
And
all
again,
together, I think.
all been made welcome when they
Yeah.
got there.
Brilliant.
So, yeah.
Brilliant.
loved
And
it.
same story now as we prepare for his ordination in a couple of months' time.
Yeah.
There's obviously
Yeah.
more because we're local.
There's going to be
Exactly.
a lot
There's gonna
more.
be a lot
Exactly.
Yeah.
that can come.
See a lot more of his family.
Unfortunately, my brother can't come because he's away at the time.
These
Yeah.
things happen.
Yeah.
But you'll get together afterwards,
Yeah.
won't you?
Yeah.
Margie and Gary, thank you so much for making us so welcoming to your home.
Yeah.
We wish you all the very best, but most of all, we thank you as Salesians of Don Bosco for sharing your family with us, because that's going to be the story. You're stuck with us now, I'm afraid.
Good.